درود دوستای عزیز، خیلی خوش اومدین.
We can't be pictured in the same frame and I can't sit across from him either because I'm a woman.
I've been coming to Afghanistan since 2019.
It's delicious, I can't talk.
This is my room. This is where I'll be sleeping for a few nights.
Over the years, I've travelled across it and I've been on the ground witnessing the changes imposed by the Taliban since they regained power in 2021 after foreign troops withdrew following 2 decades of war.
Someone from the Taliban police has come to stop us to see what we're filming.
Because we're women, we can't actually go into those parks.
میخورین دیگه نیاز، حالا شاید بعضی بچه‌ها نتونن بخونن یا حوصله‌شون نکشه، مشکل داشته برای فیلم برداری، برای داخل پارک رفتن. بعضی خانم‌ها نمیتونن داخل پارک برن، نمیشه خیلی جا فیلم برداری کرد.
Access to the country is tightly controlled by the Taliban government, and even once you're inside, there's a lot of paperwork to wade through before you can get started.
Do you have the letters? Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Information and Culture, Ministry of Public Health.
My team and I recently
از چند تا جا نامه‌های اداری رو داری؟ وزارت امور خارجه باید بگیری،
Ministry of Information and Culture,
وزارت اطلاعات و فرهنگ باید بگیری، وزارت بهداشت عمومی باید بری نامه بگیری.
Ministry of Public Health.
My team and I recently spent nearly a month in the country, meeting people in cities and villages, hearing about the severe restrictions women are facing and the
وزارت بهداشت چرا؟ شاید تو نمیدونم تو دوره کرونا شاید رفته.
cities and villages, hearing about the severe restrictions women are facing and the unprecedented hunger crisis engulfing the country.
Sanjay, they ran towards something. It was bread. Somebody gave them bread.
After days of negotiations, we also secured an interview with a senior.
راجع به مشکلات زنان و محدودیت ها خب زیاد صحبت شده، اینو گفت. و راجع به گرسنگی، گفت افغانستان گرسنگی هم یکم مشکلات اصلیشه. چجوری میتونی ممنوعیت تحصیلی دختران رو بیای توجیهش بکنی؟ چه توجیهی داری براش؟
So after 5 days of waiting, we finally got our first set of permissions to operate in Afghanistan, and we're just on our way now to do our first bit of filming in this country on this trip.
On our visits
5 روز میگه دویدیم بتونیم فیلم بگیریم. خیلیه.
to Afghanistan, one of the key stories we've consistently reported on is the impact of the brutal restrictions imposed on women by the Taliban.
این پلیس زن بود.
Consistently reported on is the impact of the brutal
نه بابا، لباسش یه جوری بود فکرم نظامی.
restrictions imposed on women by the Taliban government. Women have to be covered from head to toe with only their eyes visible, and increasingly this dress code is being vigorously enforced. We also follow a dress code when we're in the country, but because we're foreign, my colleague Imogen Anderson and I get away with wearing loose gowns and covering our hair. But on a few occasions we have encountered the morality police ordering us to cover our faces. Women are banned from
بعضی از مناطق میگه پلیس اخلاقی اومده بهمون گفته صورتتون رو باید بپوشونید.
the morality
اما در چند مورد با دستور پلیس امنیت اخلاقی برای پوشاندن
police ordering us to cover our faces.
صورت خود مواجه شده ایم.
Are banned from numerous public places including parks. From a balcony overlooking one park, we saw men playing with their children, their wives waiting alongside us. Of course, the most shocking restriction is the bar on education for girls. Afghanistan is the only country in the world to impose it. Younger girls can still go to school, but after
مشکلات بزرگتری هست دیگه، مثل ممنوعیت موسیقی و من خودم بعضی موقع فراموش میکنم. راجع به دختران هست، راجع به پوشش هست، موسیقی هست، یاد دیگه.
the age of 13, that stops. In a discreet location, we met some older teenagers, enrolled in one of a few short-term English courses which continue, slipping through the cracks of Taliban diktats. One had travelled hundreds of miles to Kabul to avoid being forced into marriage by her family. We can't identify her for her safety.
قبل از اینکه مکتب‌ها بسته شود
یه جورایی داره میگه که فرار کرده دیگه. بزنمش
One had
انقدر.
travelled hundreds of miles to Kabul to avoid being
صدها مایل از کابل سفر کرده، دور شده تا ازدواج اجباری خانواده‌اش جلوگیری کنند. میخواستن حالا بدنش به یکی، نمیخواست رفته دور شده از کابل.
forced into marriage by her family. We can't identify her for her safety.
قبل از اینکه مکتب‌ها بسته شود
Before the ban, my parents passionately encouraged me to study. They believed in me and told me I can definitely achieve my dream of becoming a pilot. But now they say the best way for me is to get married because I can't go to school, to university, I can't even work.
چقدر رویاهای این بچه‌ها خراب شد واقعا. چه افرادی داشتن تحصیل می‌کردن، مثلا اینی داشته دکتر می‌شده، دندونپزشک می‌شد، چه می‌دونم توی دانشگاه بوده، اینا این اتفاقات که میفته دیگه نمیتونه تحصیلش رو ادامه بده، چه زندگیایی که نابود میشه، می‌خواسته خلبان بشه. اینو تعریف میکنه دیگه، خانواده‌اش گفته تو نمیتونی الان تحصیل بکنی پس بیا ازدواج بکن، ازدواج بهترین کاره. انگار ازدواج باعث موفقیت میشه، اصلا ربطی نداره. میخواسته بره تحصیل کنه خلبان بشه بنده خدا.
Because I can't go to school, to university, I can't even work. I'm afraid if I return to Daikundi, I will be forced to get married.
گرفته بودن و با من گفتن
How long do you think you can resist? How long do you think you can hold the line?
من به مقاومت
I will keep resisting until I can no longer breathe. I want a better future.
بهتر داشته باشم.
While we were speaking to Afghan women, we were also trying to secure an interview with the Taliban spokesman so we could challenge him about the ban. It would take several more days before that happened.
We've just finished a really long day of interviewing Afghan girls and women about the ban on education. They're difficult interviews because it's a really basic right that's being denied to half of the population of this country. It's depressing, it's saddening to listen to those stories. What I'm also just incredibly amazed by is how much courage and resilience and the strength that they want to speak out. They want the world to hear their voice. At the end of days like these, it's exhausting, but I also feel charged up. I also feel that we've got a huge responsibility to get those voices out.
یه مستند دمش گرم، چه شجاعتی واقعا، رفته همچین برنامه‌ای ساخته که واقعیت ها رو نشون بده. مستند از بی بی سی
Sorry, I need
خارجی.
to stop chewing my first bite. So that's a really warm piece of bread that I've just gotten. I absolutely love it. It's delicious.
داشت صحبت میکنه نگاه اینجا کشوری که نصف جمعیت رو نادیده میگیرن. این خیلی حرفه هم درستیه هم خیلی حرف سنگین. نصف جمعیت نصفشون خانمان دیگه، حقشون رو نادیده میگیرن.
Afghan bread has sustained us on many long days. By now, we'd been in the country for over a week, preparing reports to go out across TV, radio and digital.
We've been filming in the street here, and what we've had, as we always have, is someone from the Taliban police has come to stop us to see what we're filming. We do have a letter of permission from the police headquarters, but even that, it does require some amount of negotiation to actually for them to actually allow us to continue working. And even on quite a simple story where we're just filming the markets here.
After the war ended in 2021, one of the things that has changed in Afghanistan that it's relatively safe to get around. We've been able to
تغییرات حس میکنم. 2021 اومده دوباره الان رفته میگه که امن شده.
travel across the country. And ordinary Afghans are slowly getting accustomed to not living under the constant fear of bombs and explosions. On the streets of Kabul, Afghan life and culture is always on vibrant display. To get a real pulse of this country, we went to a traditional restaurant to meet Shoaib Sharifi, the head of the BBC's Afghan service, who has, in his 25 years as a journalist,
شعیب شریفی رئیس سرویس افغانستان BBC که در 25 سال فعالیت روزنامه. جالبه، توی افغانستان BBC دفتر داره، یعنی شعبه داره، نمیدونم فعالیت رسمی داره مثل این.
covered different regimes, go in and
البته
out.
قبلا داشته دیگه، قبلا داشته منطقی، الان ولی نمیدونم. در 25 سال فعالیت روزنامه‌نگاری خود آقای روی کار آمدن و رفتن رژیم‌های
Of
مختلف.
power in Afghanistan.
They have been in the past 40 years. They have been sort of a consistency of regimes that are lasting up to 5 years, and each time when it's the year 5, people are like, gosh, it's year 5, there will be a regime change, whether it was the beginning of the year or end of the year. By the way, it's also the 5th year of the Taliban. But each time I've written Fall of Kabul, the first one did happen after exactly 5 years of the Mujahideen regime. And we were like worried what's going to happen. Kabul fell, coincidentally, to the Taliban. The third one did last for 2 decades.
What is it that you think foreign journalists miss
میگه
about
برای
this?
2 دهه این ادامه داشته، این که مثلا یکی میاد 5 سال میمونه، 4 سال میمونه، تغییر میکنه، اون کسی که داره حکومت رو اداره میکنه از دوره بعد ظاهرش اینجوری شده به نظرم، تا جایی که من میدونم. یعنی دوره های حکومت کوتاه شده، هی عوض شده، هی تغییرات اومده، هی دخالت های مختلف شده و خرابکاری ها شده توی کشور.
When we report about this country.
The diverse, when you go on the streets and you see how diverse We have been in the crossroad of civilizations. You can hardly find two Afghans to look alike. That means so diverse cultures. It's really beauty in hospitality and love and kindness. But unfortunately, some bitter reminders of war have stamped a different image.
To get an in-depth sense of what's happening in the country, it's really important to get out of the capital, Kabul. But getting around this mountainous country is not straightforward. Road journeys can take days and can be dangerous. We managed to sort access to a small 6-seater aircraft which would fly us to the remote Kor province from Kabul. The cabin was not pressurized, so when we went above a certain
اینا هواپیمای چیز نیستن، فکر کنم نمیدونم، برای مسافر نیستن، حالا هرچی هستن.
elevation,
کابل ببینم چیز نوشته.
remote Kor province from Kabul. The cabin was
از کابل واسه دور افتاده
not pressurized, so when we went above a certain
کابل فشار هوا نداشت، بنابراین وقتی از ارتفاع خاصی بالاتر میره
elevation, we had to turn on the oxygen supply so we wouldn't have difficulty breathing. After flying over the striking Hindu Kush mountains for about 90 minutes,
این خب یعنی چی؟ یعنی مثلا قور نداره؟ باند فرود برای هواپیما نداره؟ هواپیما مسافربری نیست از کابل به قور بره، حتما باید به همچین چیزی بری.
after flying over the striking Hindu Kush mountains for about 90 minutes, we arrived in Chakcharan, the capital of Kor province. We traveled there to cover another story we've consistently
90 دقیقه راه از کابل تا قور با
followed over the
هواپیما.
past 5 years, the spiraling crisis of hunger in Afghanistan.
Since we've arrived in Afghanistan, which was 10 days ago, it's taken us all of that time, lots of negotiations to get this stack of permissions from different Taliban ministries and departments to finally get permission to be here in the Ghor province to look at the humanitarian situation. And we're not there yet. We still have at least 2 more Taliban offices to go to in the province. We're waiting
چند تا مجوز گرفته.
outside one right now. An official told us he would be here, but let's see if he is. Of course, when we do have all those permissions, it doesn't mean we don't have editorial independence to operate on the ground. We don't have a Taliban official accompanying us when we are doing our work on the ground, but it is a bureaucratic process to get the permissions to actually film, and we have to follow that.
Is he aware that we are here?
اینا رو گرفته فقط بتونه بره اونجا، حالا رفته مجوز برای فیلم برداری بگیره. داستان اصلیه این.
Eventually, after some waiting around, the official did arrive and sorted our permission slips.
Shakiba. Where's Shakiba? Shakiba. That's Shakiba.
خوبه، به نظر راحت مجوز بهش دادن، مشکلی نداشته مثل اینکه.
Hasn't showed up today, so we've got to take a different ride. We're just trying to get some motor rickshaws going because we need to be somewhere really quick, so we can't wait. We're going to this
ماشینش نرسیده با ریکشا داریم.
anybody who's a daily wage earner. They gather there in the morning and contractors and other people come and take them from there. But we have to be there at a certain time, so can't afford to be late. So we have now decided to hail 2 auto rickshaws. Our colleagues, our cameraman and our Afghan producer are in the one in front of us, and we're here.
When we arrived at the gathering point, hundreds of men were already there. Our colleague, producer Mahfouz Zubaydi, helped us translate what they were saying as Sanjay Ganguly, our cameraman, was filming. Some had travelled for days to get there. Others had been coming for weeks with no luck. We're starving and no one gives me
برای کار اومدن، بعضیا هفته تو راه بودن.
work because I'm old, Khwaja Ahmed told us as he broke down. Soon a man offering work came by.
So this man on a motorcycle has come to find labourers. You can just see how many people are throwing themselves at him, the sheer desperation to find a day of work. In the past couple of hours, we've seen a couple of cars coming by, lots of men throwing themselves at the car. The reality is that most of these people are going to walk away from here without having found work.
As our
حالا
time in Kor
می‌بینی
came to
اینجا مثلا کارگر زیاده یا وایسادن صبح که یکی بیاد این رو ببره سر کار. داخل ایران برعکس شده، میخوای بری کارگر پیدا کنی یارو ناز میکنه نمیاد. یه موقع اینجوری نبوده، کاملا داره برعکس میشه همه
an
چی.
end, we headed back to the tiny airport terminal. In the background, we were still trying to secure a sit-down interview with the Taliban government.
کدوم سبک ویدئوها رو دوست داری؟ این حالت مستندگونه داره. مستندگونه داره. این قشنگ مستندیه که داره نشون میده که من به عنوان یک کسی که رفتم سال 2021 رفتم، الانم رفتم، وضعیت توی افغانستان چطور بوده، چه تغییراتی داشته و چه چیزایی رو حس کردم. و بعضی از ویدیوهای توریستا هست که تجربه واقعی سفر یک توریست کدومش براتون جذاب‌تره؟ مستند جذاب‌تره، ویدیوهای توریستا جذاب‌تره؟ حتما در قسمت نظر در مورد نویسید. مخلصم. مرسی تا اینجا با من همراه بودین. تا ویدیو بعد مراقب خودتون باشید و خداحافظ همگی.